a few chairs. Try to find the shade if that is more comfortable. And great, we've got the artists starting their project. It's not just for the little ones. You do need to kind of bend down and use your knees in ways that I don't use very often. We're passing out a reading that Lonnie's going to help us with. So make sure you have a sheet of paper. Where are they? Dwayne over here is passing them out. So raise your hand if you don't have one. So, as I said in the sanctuary, this was designed to be a 4-season garden. And we as staff are here through all the changing seasons during the work week. And there truly is something amazing that happens in this space every month of the year. There's changes that we observe and animals, critters that come and go. So it's not just all season in terms of what's blooming, but just the people that come and go, the type of gatherings that have happened out here. I went through some of my pictures, and so there's been families gathered here for candlelight services. Did you know that? Some of the garden committee members know because they had to clean up the wax. My bad. But I think it was Joyce Mills' family that gathered here one January, cold night in January, and had candles. There's been neighbors of the church who have placed bricks for loved ones. So we won't know all of these names here, but I love that this has become a space for people who live around the church to have a place to remember and to meditate. For some reason, I remembered, Allison, for your parents when we buried their remains. I think there was like a carnival happening in the playground that day. There was a bouncy gym thing set up, and just the fact that we could have that service of remembrance in the midst of the activity of playing, of life. It was just a really, really wonderful memory. So it has become an annual tradition, Memorial Day weekend, to gather out here when things are in such beautiful bloom. And today we get to enjoy the elements of bread and cup and exercise in the sharing of these gifts in memory of Jesus and his teachings. So with that, Lonnie wrote a poem for this day, and that's what you have in your hands. So he's going to walk us through combining Pentecost and Memorial Day and communion, and then we'll all join in the bold print at the very bottom. So Lonnie, thank you. Our resident poet.
Ruth asked me, she said, I need a poem about Pentecost, communion, a garden, Memorial Day. See what you can do. So, of course, I said, well, sure. And then I thought, well, this is kind of a big task. So I divided it up. There are, I've also should have learned by now that when I send things to Ruth, there might be a change made. And by me, not by her. So there will be a slight change in the first couple lines, so don't get disoriented. After that, then I will call you in to join me on the last stanza. This is a day of Pentecost, and so it was on this day, this Shavuot, a day of celebration for the gift of the Torah, for the spring and summer harvests when the people of God were gathered together in communion, that the Spirit of God descended on them with a mighty wind of change that came as a blessing and guide to a new way, a new communion based not only on the old laws, but on the teaching of Jesus. And so it was in our beginning. This is a day of communion. As the people of God were gathered on the day of Pentecost, so we are gathered again amidst the splendor of the natural world for Holy Communion in this garden, a time and place to tarry and remember. In this manner, we commemorate that he chose a table around which to share symbols of love and commitment with his closest community of faith. A table, not a wall. A sharing, not a withholding. An embrace of all, even those who would deny, even he who would betray. And after that, he went to a garden, inviting his friends to tarry with him in support, seeking a connection, not a confrontation. He paused in the beauty of the natural world to hear the wind in the trees, the buzz of the bees, the songs of the birds, a place to embrace the beauty of the natural world. And so, as a preparation for communion, will you join me? This is a day of memorial. So we are here in this garden on this day to recall the promises of the Christ, to feel the movement of the Holy Spirit upon us, and to honor the presence of those saints resting here who have gone before us, leaving us with their memories and spirits, guides on our own journeys.
Does anybody recall having communion out here before? Yeah. This may be a first. So we can add this to the long list. We've had ordinations out here. Well, one, Rosie's ordination. We had a baptism in front here, especially during COVID lockdown time. Child dedications. This very afternoon, the wedding that will happen in the sanctuary, the couple wants to do their vows out here. So this has become quite a special place. Senior pictures. I remember Madeline. Where's Jan? Madeline had some senior pictures taken in this garden. So now we add communion. So deacons who, or deacon plus ones who want to help, could you come forward, and we're going to figure this out as we go. If you can help pass the trays. So we have pita for the bread and gluten-free crackers. And then we have individual cups. So I think if you could kind of divide, we have 3 trays of each, and then of course grapes. So Dale will have the gluten-free. Raise your hand as Dale walks by if that's your choice. And then I think we'll have, so if one deacon can have a tray of the pita and then another one of the juice, and let's have everyone take one of each at the same time, and then we'll partake all together. So take a pita and a cup and just hold them as everyone receives. And if you want to pass, just simply, you can just put your hand up or say no thank you. So as the cup and bread is being passed, we have musicians to guide us in worship.
Oh, sorry. I'll have two, whatever.
Do you want some bread?
I got some already, thanks.
These are the gifts of God for the people of God, the people who yearn to be Jesus followers in this world. So we do as Jesus instructed us. We take bread and we take juice and we join in blessing it together and we share it. Those cycles of blessing, breaking, and sharing are what we are called to be about in this world. So we'll take the bread and we eat. And we drink. We bless, we break, we share, and we rejoice that we have one another, that we are in a shared body of our loving Lord. So with that, we will continue our time together outside. We have coffee and donuts and extra grapes and pita, so find a comfortable spot to sit and move chairs to the shade if you need to. And I think the music is going to continue, right? Okay, wonderful. Okay, I wish everyone a great holiday tomorrow, a great week ahead.